Ladies and gentlemen, before we present to you the IMF's latest show this Saturday, Rage in the Cage, join me to induct the newest member of the Sportswire Radio Hall of Fame. In many ways, our newest member of the Sportswire Radio Hall of Fame is figuratively and literally the foundation for the IMF. That's right, the Iowa Midwest Wrestling Federation Company. Obviously, they're getting ready for a huge show coming up. They've transitioned from once upon a time a backyard wrestling company to now a live, functioning, independent wrestling company that has put on sellout after sellout after sellout. And really, our newest member of the Sportswire Radio Hall of Fame has kind of been that glue. He's kind of been that veteran calming presence that the IMF has been able to use to transition themselves from a company once upon a time that had to get attention by calling out Craven Rage to now figuratively and literally be the rage of the wrestling world that would even put Rage Against the Machine to their knees. But, when I think about our newest member of the Sportswire Radio Hall of Fame and our second member of our 8th class and our 72nd member, I can assure you I'm not going to roast him like Tom Brady was on Netflix earlier this week, but I'm actually going to talk about his career. His career in the ring that has actually not been talked about enough here on this platform, because when you think about his career, it's a journey that's taken him to places like in Puerto Rico. It's taken him to places up and down the Midwest and even to Japan, and even wrestling guys like I don't know, James Ellsworth. He only defeated some guy you probably heard of, AJ Styles, not once but twice, and has kind of been a fixture and presence in the independent wrestling scene for decades. Levi McDaniel has certainly done it all. He's even done it all to the fact where he actually used his own body to allow people to tattoo himself, but for a good cause, to actually help those out there who need it most. And I think that's, ladies and gentlemen, where Levi McDaniel very well makes his mark. Because, sure, he's taken a lot of marks, and his back is full of plenty of marks, and he's got plenty of scars to prove his decades-long career in the wrestling world. But he was here to make a difference and to use his post to help the lives of others. And that's what it's about. Time and time again, I come on to Sportswire Radio, and we have wrestlers come on and talk about these, how can I put it in a nice way, imaginary championships, or they talk about these promotions that they have, quote unquote, and there might be only a handful of members, and some might wrestle on 7th grade like mats and might call themselves hardcore, but really they might want to try even doing parkour. Even parkour wouldn't work for them, and maybe they want to stay on the Fisher-Price training wheels. But the truth is, ladies and gentlemen, Levi McDaniel has gone out there and set a path that has not only made his career better, but he's making wrestlers around him better. When I think about the growth of the likes of Omen Black, it is his show after all, the boogeyman of the Midwest and the hardcore god, Soldier GP, is he still the popular heel monster these days? For what I know, he is still the IMF champion of the world, and Dirty Donnie and Jason Myers and Freddie Daniels, Jordan Nets, Felix Jones, Dirty Donnie, as I stated, maybe even Remington Stryker, Prince Achie, I could mention him, Mephisto, Ace Diamond, recent invites, Isaiah Rage. The point is, all of those wrestlers benefit from the expertise, the experience, and the leadership from Levi McDaniel. In addition to being a very successful and very decorated, well-traveled, and well-respected wrestler, has also had his own promotion, Levi McDaniel Fight Promotions, which thousands upon thousands of people view on YouTube and Twitter and Twitch. And he also has his own website. You can go find out more information here on the links below. And he has went out and created his own path. In fact, he is the definition of a free spirit, a freelance entrepreneur. I always believe in those that go out and create their own path, because that's what Sportswire Radio and what I've done here for 5.5 years is having my own vision, giving people from all walks of life, whether it's in the wrestling world, college basketball, where I cut my teeth in, and other forms of sports, the opportunity to be able to create their own path and blaze their own trail. And Levi McDaniel has done that. And he's certainly done that as the Belfast Bulldog. Look at the tattoos the man has had. Look at those eyes, by the way. I know Ace Diamond might call himself the eyes of professional wrestling, but those eyes there definitely remind me of an AC/DC song or two. I might forget the lyrics, but I'm never going to forget Levi McDaniel on this platform. The point is, ladies and gentlemen, there's a lot of people that say different things. There's a lot of people that can say and compare and contrast, but Levi McDaniel is one of those people that has not only walked the walk, he has talked the talk. He has done that, and he's doing that in really his greatest role in being a mentor and a leader. He is the general manager of a company, the IMF, which is, again, had thousands of subscribers, thousands of followers, thousands of people have attended their shows in the past 9 months or so since they've become a live venue company, and that's his greatest gift. I truly believe in life, in the world of wrestling or anything, it's not so much about your wins and losses, your championships. Sure, guys come on here and tell me how many championships they've won, and sure, it's impressive. But the fact is that Levi McDaniel is giving back his knowledge to be passed upon other wrestlers that if they didn't have Levi McDaniel, and his decades of expertise, not to say they would be like wrestlers that might call themselves a big bad silver wolf, but might want to take a big bad number 2, or, even a guy like Skulls, who's a Hall of Famer, but might want to get a thick kick in the skulls to say, slow down, buddy. Go out there, and you might want to go out there and learn to do some other things. Tyler Ark, the Man-O machinist, the only thing he might be a machinist for is maybe in his dreams, what if they exist. But the point is, there are other people I could mention, but the IMF is not going to be ever mentioned in those categories, but more in some of the premier independent wrestling companies, cutting edge. In many ways, the IMF is the personality of Levi McDaniel. Levi McDaniel, yes, I know he's looking at me like, boy, get this speech over with. But the point is, Levi McDaniel is kind of almost what everything should be in a wrestling ring. He provides you some humor. He provides you some, entertainment, maybe some women. Maybe he provides you some hardcore wrestling. Yes, take note. This is somebody that's right up there with the likes of Jimmy Controversy, Mikey Anarchy, Hardcore, Obey, Mac 10, and even you, Atomic Titan, might want to pay attention to Levi McDaniel and what he brings to the table, because I know Omen Black is definitely doing that. And that's a shoot, ladies and gentlemen. But the point is, Levi McDaniel, this is why he is going to be not only remembered as a Sportswire Radio Hall of Famer, he's going to be remembered long after his career is over, because he gave his knowledge, his information. We really talk about the word all wrestling matters. We talk about giving everybody a platform, giving everybody an opportunity. And I will get to the point. I'll induct you, give you the long intro. But the point is that today should have happened months ago with Levi McDaniel. With all due respect to some other Hall of Famers that probably might need more seasoning than somebody's chicken cutlets or some pork chops out there in the wrestling ring, the facts is that Levi McDaniel, for years upon years and nearly decades, with his career, has long been a Hall of Famer. Today is long overdue. Levi McDaniel is somebody that has made the wrestling world, inside and outside of it, a better place. And he's made it a more livelier place. And that's why we get a chance each and every week to talk about all the great things the IMF does. Each and every month, we get to talk about their live shows. And it's really because this man took a chance on 2 guys, in Omen Black and Soldier GP, who were calling out the likes of, yes, Sean Jovi before he became a foundation member, and Craven Rage. Is there such a thing still? Is he? I don't think he's named after this show, right? Can somebody let me know on that? But the point is that Levi McDaniel has taken guys that might have actually been on the training wheels, like the likes of, again, some guy that's name's BBS, not BBC, like Craven Rage for whatever reason mentions, or, some guy you might want to call starts with a TA, not to be confused with Magnum TA, or some guy that's a drip king, but he might be dripping, all full of sweat and water, considering what he brings in the ring and outside the ring. And some other people that might be a part of their company. Is there a guy that's still bulletproof, but he might not be bulletproof? He might actually be, certainly, I don't know, maybe full of bullets because he's actually lacking bullets when it comes to his ring skills or that sort of thing. Maybe a guy that his initials were LC that was once upon a time in this company, the IMF, but we're going to certainly wipe that up. We're going to wipe his records out of the record books. What they should have did maybe for some of the guys in Major League Baseball who had all those home runs and still have an asterisk next to. Maybe that guy is going to have his records wiped off, and maybe he's an asterisk when it comes to the wrestling world. But the point is, Levi McDaniel took guys like Omen Black, Soldier GP, and others, and has put them to where they can be today. And, I could go on and on and on about Levi McDaniel. He might want me to go on and on about. Actually, he probably doesn't, because I could see him looking at me right now. He's like, Tom, get to the point. You talked about me being this great independent wrestler who's traveled to Japan, who's wrestled against James Ellsworth, who's wrestled against a who's who of tag teams up and down the middle. He even wrestled some guy named Nassif that Soldier GP is having problems. But the point is that Levi McDaniel, I could not think of a better person to be tonight to kick off a great show here coming up for the IMF's Rage in the Cage, to be inducted as our second member of our 8th class in the Sportswire Radio Hall of Fame. And it's a good time because the most recent member of the Sportswire Radio Hall of Fame is a guy, Copper Dragon, who was our backyard wrestling ambassador, our Dave Meltzer. And in many ways, Levi McDaniel is kind of giving us the Midas touch, and he's putting us back on track here. He's giving us that almost good endorsement that everybody needs once in a while to be able to get to where they want to be and to achieve their dreams, and the IMF is doing that. But as I've stated, Levi McDaniel, I know you've actually never officially got one of these, despite being on this platform so many times over the past 9 or 10 months. I now want to officially, before I induct you as our second person and our 8th member. I'm so tongue twisted because how many people were in this Hall of Fame, but not to take a shot at anybody, but there'll be somebody here that actually works in a promotion that's actually said that about this Hall of Fame, but he had no problem being in the Hall of Fame. But I'm going to leave that for when that individual comes on here, I'm sure, for the promotion he works for. But Levi McDaniel, I'm going to officially now induct you as our second member of our 8th class in the Sportswire Radio Hall of Fame and our 72nd member. But before I do that, I have to give you that introduction that everybody else has gotten, especially the likes of, Dirty Donnie. He's only a part of the IMF. How about Freddie Daniels? He's in the Hall of Fame from the House of Wolves. Soldier GP, and of course, Omen Black. It is his show after all, and I have to give you that introduction that those individuals from the IMF have gotten. Maybe even some of your foundation brothers like Sean Jovi, and of course, the IMF Tag Team Champions, Dark Kron and Matthew Forsaken were all Forsaken, and even Jason Storm. I guess maybe Jason Storm counts technically because he's in the foundation. Is he in the foundation? I'm still confused about that. But it's time to give you that introduction to officially put your place into the Sportswire Radio Hall of Fame. And let's get this show on the road because we're in prime time and we're Thursday night and Soldiers in the back saying, let's get the show on the road. We're going to do that here right now. Ladies and gentlemen, join me in introducing our newest member of the Sportswire Radio Hall of Fame, the man behind the Levi McDaniel Fight Promotions. He is also the IMF General Manager. So with that, without further ado, here on the Sports Report, number one global sports show, the newest member of the Sportswire Radio Hall of Fame, the general manager for the IMF. Simply put, he is the best. Dog Levi McDaniel. Congratulations, my friend. You're the newest member of the Sportswire Radio Hall of Fame.
Tom, thank you for such a pleasant introduction. Everything you said, man, really appreciate it. Appreciate you. Guys like you doing what you do, man. That's what it's all about. Sportswire Radio. I am fucking F. Here we go, man. I told these guys, man, I love wrestling. I'll help out whoever. But for me to be all in, I really got to see something. And I really do when I met these guys at the IMF, man. I love these guys. These guys are my brothers, man. I'm here to help. Anything I can do to help these guys out in any way, whoever needs it, I'm here, man. I'm trying to do my best from what I can do. But, any advice, whatever I can do, man. Like you said, you could talk about all the stuff I've done in wrestling. That's all cool, man. But the way I live in my philosophy, I'm here in the present, man. I'm not thinking about the past. I'm not thinking about the future, as we all do. I'm in the present, man. I'm loving it. I'm loving IMF right now, and I've never seen a group, past door shows now. We've made that transition from the yard. I mean, credit, everybody knows it takes a team, man. This is all a team effort. Everyone remember, if this is going to keep growing, we need to work as a team. You can't get a big head too quick because you go from the yard to indoors. That ain't really what matters. It's a building and it's a yard. It's all the same in spirit and the heart with what you're doing. So don't get it going right now. But there's a lot of for improvement, and it's all positive, man. I don't have anything negative to say because we're doing it right now. And this weekend coming up, for those who don't know, you've already pretty much talked like 9 big matches plus the pre-show. If you haven't been to an IMF show already, come check it out. Give us a try. If you guys that came out and supported the one we did in Cedar Rapids, I need you to come out to Palo. I mean, come on. Palo, Iowa, small town. I've been wrestling in all the town, big town. We're the biggest thing going in that town.
And I think we lost Mr. McDaniel. We hope to bring it. There you go. We lost you.
Sorry.
Yeah, we lost you there a little bit. Yep.
I'm just saying we got a good thing going there in Palo. The fans, they're going to come. We just got to keep plugging away at it. And yeah, man, be here, man. Appreciate the induction, the introduction, the induction, everything. Have a good time.
Absolutely. I'm having a good time with you. I know a slew of guys are here. And I also, before I do anything, want to wish a very happy birthday to another general manager who is also on our Hall of Fame. You'll be our second general manager in the Hall of Fame from the great state of Alabama, the Alliance Wrestling League, a similar company to you guys where they have transitioned, kind of being an underground indie company like you guys. My buddy Hillbilly Tilly, he has a birthday today. I want to wish Hillbilly Tilly a very happy birthday. Hillbilly Tilly, like you, is a long-time veteran. He's been a veteran of this sport. He's helped a lot of guys out there in the yard. He's using his skills and his expertise into the yard and helping guys in the AWL transition. And obviously, I want to give him a very, very happy birthday. Thank him for all of his friendship. He's from, again, the great state of Alabama. He loves all the shows like you on sports. I always see him in the comments like you, and I want to make sure I wish him a very happy birthday. We actually have some AWL coverage coming up here in the next couple of weeks with some guys like Seth Maverick and Cole Batter coming on here very soon. So I just want to say happy birthday, Hillbilly Tilly. I hope you're all coming up this year, and thank you for all that you do, my friend. Hope you have a great day. And, Levi, I know so many people from the show are going to come on here shortly, but I want to give you something that kind of officially recognizes you into the Sportswire Radio Hall of Fame. Only a few instances. I know you're obviously a man that is well-traveled, had a lot of success. You've done so much. You're giving, all of your expertise and knowledge to so many great people in the IMF, but I'd like to present to you something that officially recognizes you in the Sportswire Radio Hall of Fame. Only if you insist.
I insist.
I appreciate that. Thank you very much,
Let's
sir,
see
because
it.
I want to give it to you. Yes, because you are officially now the 72nd member of the Sportswire Radio Hall of Fame, and you have the certificate here on the screen. You have my John Hancock, today's date, our logo, and your name, and just, you know, everything officially crystallizing you into the Hall of Fame. And I just can't thank you enough for all that, you know, you've done for this sport. And, you know, that's really what it's about here. I have been trying to really recognize, despite we had a slight detour, you know, here and there on this platform, you know, with obviously people that should probably stay away from the ring. But the point is that I have been trying really to recognize the people that have, like yourself, gone out there in the independents, some in the pros, obviously in the underground, who've gone out there and have made a difference. You have made a difference for our community, and that's why you're in the Hall of Fame. And I just want to say that I apologize to you, actually, because I should have put you in the Hall of Fame months ago, because there are people in this Hall of Fame that either A, didn't seem to appreciate it, and B, that are in this Hall of Fame really because they wanted a kindergarten class participation trophy, when they really should go back and maybe, I don't know, should stay on the Fisher-Price training wheels, continue to wank off in their mom's basement, continue to stay as far away from the wrestling business, to stay as far away possible from the wrestling sport, but yet they are in this Hall of Fame. And really, that's on me for that. But, you know, we try to make everybody happy. But the point is I want to apologize to you, sir, because you really should have been in this Hall of Fame months ago. As a matter of fact, you should certainly be recognized in this Hall of Fame with the likes of some well-traveled people like Dean Allmark, who competed in TNA. You've obviously competed in Japan. The natural-born fighter R.P. Davis, who is the only person from Britain to be a major boxing world champion, wrestling world champion. James Barris from CCW, Cutlery Championship Wrestling, as I call them, Cutlery Community Wrestling. Jam Dog, who's obviously been a massive player out there. He's the CCW World Underground Champion. The likes of Bentley, the vigilante of pro wrestling, the current Bolton Town and Kingdom of Wrestling World Champion. So many other people that have cut their teeth. You should have been there, recognized with them, and this should have been done sooner. So I just want to say I'm happy to have you in the Hall of Fame, but I should have did it a lot sooner, because a man with your resume, what you're doing inside this ring and outside this ring, should certainly be recognized in this Hall of Fame with the likes of some of the people that have certainly had well-traveled careers. And I just want to say that, but also I still say congratulations, but really most importantly, thank you for all that you've done for this sport over the past decade.
Well, I appreciate it, man. There's no reason to apologize. No better time than now. So we're in the present. We're rocking and rolling, man. I'm having a good time. It's been a pleasure watching Sportswire over the past, 9 months or so. I've seen your stuff before then, but I've just started tuning in regularly, man. Once I saw these IMF guys getting aboard, I have to check out what's going on. I got my hands in a lot of stuff in wrestling. So when I came into IMF, part of my homework was just watching Sportswire. I wanted to see how these guys act and how they talk, and there's just a lot more to it than what meets the eye. But I'm definitely doing my homework on everybody. And you've been a big help with that, Tom. So thank you.
I appreciate that. Thank you so much. That's actually very kind of you to say. Let me get to some comments before I get a couple thoughts from you to set the tables for the show on Saturday, and start bringing on some individuals that are going to be a part of this great show. Let me say hello to a bunch of people. Obviously, yes, I guess somebody on your behalf said it's going to be a banger, and he's not talking about the lady on the screen, but obviously that was an inside joke. Yeah.
Well, it's that's one of my secretaries. I have an associate's what I call her. I don't call her secretary anymore. I guess that's kind of demeaning for all the work she does for me. But
yeah, it's 2024.
Because I've got the associate running the YouTube page, and we got some chicks wrestling, all that crap on there. Yeah, that's a whole nother story. But thanks for going ahead and showing that there.
Absolutely.
Be a banger tonight, and I think it has been so far.
I try to show everybody, and we love everybody that's on the platform and supports the platform. So definitely go check out some of the great things that Levi does. Yes, he's got some women's wrestling, some other stuff out there. He does a number of different things. He's truly the definition of a free spirit, a freelancer. And I love that, because that's kind of how I've been successful in life. It's funny. People ask me all the time. They say, well, how have you been successful in life? You've never really technically had a real 9-to-5 job, but you've always had a lot of different successes. And I said, well, because I was always freelancer. I was always since I'm a kid, I was always very entrepreneurial. I had some luck around the way, but it's not about me. But obviously, thank you to what you do there. Our friends there in the foundation, I believe the IMF Tag Team Champions are in work, and we hope that they are working safely. And Hillbilly Tilly thanks me, and yes, thank you so much, Hillbilly. But thank you for you, because it's guys like you and Levi McDaniel who have done this for the love of wrestling. True wrestlers do this for the love of this sport. You guys have done that. And Xavier Thorne, Mr. Xavier Thorne, the interesting Xavier Thorne, the standout Xavier Thorne, who is most famously seen on Sportswire recently in the bathroom. Hopefully when he comes back on May 27th, is not in the bathroom, but he certainly goes out there and says a number on some other wrestlers that he's been certainly battling in Resurrection Wrestling and others. But I love Xavier Thorne. Xavier Thorne is also a 2K player like yourself, and he's a very good 2K player, actually. Check out his YouTube channel. Love Mr. Xavier Thorne. And obviously, your friend, your brother, Mr. Dirty Donnie, who's, by the way, he's doing a podcast these days. Check out his Facebook page. He's got a really interesting podcast. Want to give him a nice little shout out. Nicholas Crenson, he's now nonchalant Nicholas Crenson. He says here, you've earned it. And also, congratulations from another Hall of Famer to another. Craven Rage, who was famously the first person to turn down the Sportswire Radio Hall of Fame and then simultaneously decided he was accepting it. He is here. Right. Also, the IMF management is here. Obviously, not talking about you. Sean Jovi, the resident rock star, who's starting the All Wrestling Matters World Underground Championship to be crowned at Summer Bash from July 5th to July 7th. Shock it, baby. Oh, shocker, baby. Always remember. There you go. Some rather breaking the fourth wall words from Omen Black. Congratulations, brother, my mentor. Really appreciate the love and support you've given me, trust and belief you have in me. A great friend, a greater brother, 4 up, 4 down. Without you, brother, I wouldn't be where I am at today. That is all because you took a chance on me, which is exactly what I said in my speech. And by the way, I do it like Paul Heyman. I don't go out there and read it off a teleprompter. I just do it off the top of my head. That's basically what I said. Levi McDaniel, ladies and gentlemen, this man has given his knowledge, his decades of knowledge in this sport to guys that if they didn't have it, not to say they would be like Triple L, who takes the big fat L, or whatever WFEW or WNEW, they may need an OBGYN, or, some of these other companies that, should be more, again, staying on the Fisher-Price training wheels, maybe playing with some plushies and maybe certainly having, I don't know, a couple of peeps left over from Easter. The point is that Omen and Soldier, guys like this benefit from this man who's traveled to Japan and wrestled. He has wrestled in Japan. This is the Belfast Bulldog with a massive following in places like the UK. My also big place of support and places like Germany. Also greatest IMF GM as well.
Let me say this real quick, Tom.
Say anything you want.
Okay. About with Dirty just Omen. Thanks for the love, brother. But literally, this is the part where some people aren't quite seeing, and I just know from being in the business, we're just getting started. So there's a lot of love right now, but we're just getting started, guys. This ball is just starting to roll. So what we have right now is going to be just a small blip on the radar when the IMF story is all said and done. And I think it's easy to get caught up in the last show or the next one, but I'm telling you, this is a small blip of what's yet to come. And yeah, man, that's all I want to say. You can keep the comments rocking and rolling.
I absolutely listen. I'm always a believer in the best is yet to come. I've always been a believer in that. I've always been a believer in the line, a rising tide will always lift all boats. I was always told that. I have a background in politics, and there was somebody that was somebody I used to work with, and he would always talk about a rising tide that will lift all boats. And I've always lived by that motto, a rising tide will lift all boats. And you have been the rising tide, not only for these guys, but also for everything in this sport about All Wrestling Matters. Everything we do in the backyard, the underground, together we will win. You've been a part of that. Want to say hello to our all-out champion and our friends over at WC in the great state of Wisconsin, who have certainly imported some WC members we're going to get to in about 5 minutes. And he says, congratulations, James Taylor, the Nemesis James Taylor. By the way, James Taylor, you got to get Levi McDaniel on the Nemesis sessions. That would be an interesting show. I tell you what, James Taylor and Levi McDaniel, 2 big-time YouTube stars, 2 guys that are social media darlings. I mean, that would certainly be one for the ages. I mean, I would certainly want to see that more than Taylor and Travis these days on my social media channels. I'd want to say Levi and James Taylor, Taylor and Levi, talking about wrestling, talking shop. Let's go. Let's open up shop. Let's drop. Oh, James Taylor, you better bring on Levi McDaniel. Do it this weekend. You better open up your YouTube channel and bring on Levi McDaniel, the Belfast Bulldog.
Let's do it, man.
Whoa, Sunday night, maybe 9 o'clock Eastern time. How's that sound? Hopefully better than a C2K nursery rhyme. Please, James Taylor, save us from this rhyme.
Sounds awesome because we're gonna kick ass Saturday night at IMF and Sunday.
That's exactly why I put it out there. See, I knew how to sell it. So there you go. Want to say hello to Mr. Isaiah Rage? I'm going to see him coming up in a little while. Levi nearly blew up. How's it going? So I think we're way behind in the comments. I could see it. Prince Achia, who says he's the future IMF champion, holding the championship. The internet can't handle the excitement. Yeah, because you know why? Forget about Taylor and Travis. It's more about Taylor and Levi. That's what it's about. Taylor and Levi. So James Taylor, open up that YouTube channel and make it happen Sunday night, 9 p.m. Eastern time, 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. Taft Taylor, YouTube. Be there or be square. So make sure you need to happen.
After I get back from my mother's house, after I eat all her food, and I come home and do the show.
That's a great way to digest. Make it happen, James Taylor. Congrats, Levi. And
when after it's done, go take a big old dookie, baby. Whoa.
Well, sorry, can't say that. Well, we had a guy last Sunday do that, but that's a different conversation for a different time. I want to say hello to my buddy, Mr. Joshua Allen, the owner and founder of Tennessee Backyard Wrestling. Just real quick, I want to make sure everybody out there in the great states of Tennessee and Mississippi are doing well because they had some major floods, major damage the last few days out there. So I just want to give my thoughts and prayers to all those great people. Love the beautiful people in Tennessee and Mississippi. Resurrection Wrestling, Tennessee Backyard Wrestling, great supporters of ours. Just want to make sure everybody out there is safe and sound. And yes, Tom Zan, yes, I am here. How are you? Nice to see you. Rage in the Cage is going to be a banger. MC Reverend Tom. Yes, a MC that certainly is bringing out certainly some more drink shots. So, but okay, obviously I can get into that. I got to get these guys on the show. So talk to me about the card. What can we expect? Run down it for me for a few minutes. Then I got to get the show on the road for these guys. Talk to me about what you're looking forward to here coming up this Saturday.
Well, we got two big pre-show matches. I don't know if I'm supposed to say them or not, but
no, don't say it. If you're not supposed to, don't say it. But give me some of the big matches that we can talk about.
Well, we know we're going to have Damian, Saint, and we're going to have Omen.
Oh, yeah. Definitely know that.
We definitely know we're going to have Soldier GP and Prince Isaiah. So that's two big matches right there that the fans are going to have to stay and watch. You know, the night's going to be rocking and rolling. I mean, we got 9 matches total. If you go to the pre-show, you might see 10, 11 matches. You're going to have the Hellhounds there versus the Death Gallery. We got Sean Jovi versus Kodak Kid, guys. We can't forget about that. And, of course, we can't forget about we got Mephisto. Everybody's got to love him. The fans rocking and rolling. Isaiah Rage, we just saw him in the comments. We saw him at the last IMF show making his debut with us. And then we got Remington Stryker in that match. We got my man, Dirty Donnie. He's going to be wrestling. Come on, that's my boy. We're at the booth all night commentary.
Yes, I see it all the time watching these shows. You guys are always there, and that's kind of your fellow MC.
That's my boy.
All the great things. And if you want to watch some of the pre-show and all the shows eventually, that's the IMF YouTube channel. And I want to make the announcement here real quick before you get off. Is that actually as I always do for every IMF show, and I truly believe in this because it's about all wrestling matters, I will actually purchase one ticket. Even though I'm in the great state of New York, you guys are in the great state of Iowa, I am going to make sure that there's one person out there. So it's one lucky person, whether it's a kid, somebody that doesn't have the money on it, they want to go to the show and see all these great matches, they can go. That is my support to show that you guys, it's about all wrestling matters. So I want to announce that, even though I always do it every time we're on the air, we go and have these shows. I want to make that announcement here that if there's somebody out there, you don't have the money to go to the show, you want to see all these great wrestlers, you want to meet them, maybe you learn so much, you actually decide to actually want to go out there and do it the right way And unlike some other people that maybe were doing it on a 7th grade gym mat, maybe some open field in the middle of nowhere, maybe where their mom's basement wasn't available, this is where you can go and actually find out about these guys and go out and watch them. So I want to put that out there. So we'll take care of that when we're off the air. And I want people to support the IMF. There is all of their links here right in the background below. Iowa Midwest Federation Wrestling Company. Please support them. IMF_wrestling. YouTube, IMF Wrestling 666. I can't thank you enough. I want to let you have any final thoughts, anything else you want to share, and then I'm going to let the rest of the guys come on. And we got to get you on James Taylor's show. So, James Taylor, I know you're out there. You got to get this man. This guy has a wealth of knowledge, a wealth of information. He has wrestled in Japan. He has wrestled all over the United States. He wrestled in Puerto Rico. He was one of even the lucky guys that during COVID that actually traveled outside of the States and wrestled for a little bit. This man is truly the definition of all wrestling matters because he's done it all around the world. And that would be a banger of a conversation, and far more of a banger when guys on here bang themselves in the head without knowing how to do it and out going over with it. Levi will be far more of a banger than that. But anything else you'd like to say before we get the show on the road?
Yeah, first off, you're right. All wrestling matters. And that's something I hold dear to my heart and I believe in. So I will support that till the day I die. All wrestling matters. It's about your spirit, what's inside. It's not about anything else, the bullshit that comes with wrestling, the good and the bad. What really matters is all wrestling matters, and you feel it in your heart, the passion, everything. It shouldn't take an arena. You should have the same feeling in the yard as you do in the arena. I've been everywhere, man, from the grandma's basement to arenas in Japan, like you said, other places, other countries, whatever. I have the same amount of passion when I walk into IMF. I'm injured right now. We're just getting started. IMF, guys, I want everybody who's watching this right now to go to their YouTube page. Check it out if you haven't already. If you're in the area, like Tom said, he's going to sponsor someone for a ticket. That's about the best thing I've heard in a long time. I love helping people. Go to the show. Find a way. Take your friends. Check it out. Give it a chance. You're not going to be disappointed. You'll get to meet some wrestlers. You'll get to be entertained. And if you've never seen it, give it a try. Other than that, I don't want to take up all the time. You got other guys come, that come in
me right now. I have guys messaging me, come on, Tom, because it's funny. You're gonna laugh at this. I was like, I'm only gonna give you 5 minutes. No, I went over because you know what? This is what I do here on this platform. I feel like I owe you one, and I feel like you should have been in this Hall of Fame really months ago. You should certainly be recognized with a lot of great people. You know what? As a matter of fact, you should be recognized with other people from other sports that have done great things for him. My buddy Jason Facino coaches the United States amputee men's soccer team. My buddy Danny Burns, who played in the NCAA college basketball Final Four. My buddy Ernest Dove, who just shared the show on Twitter. He's a baseball writer and reporter. He's covered the New York Mets and all the different guys that are up there. I feel like, to me, you should be up there with all the big people that are out there. Yes, we have a lot of our underground and our yarders, and yes, that's a lot of it because that's a personal belief to support and, carry on this mission. But to me, your career, your story should have been recognized far earlier, but I'm going to make up for it. I think tonight we'll do that. We'll bring you back on. Definitely down the road. You're going to be here with us next month. And James Taylor, he's going to make up for it because he's got 40,000+ subscribers on YouTube and 80,000 on TikTok. So if he puts you on his platform, you're going to certainly skyrocket, and he's going to skyrocket even further because he needs some good guests to come on his show. Because he had Copper Dragon. He's got to follow up Copper Dragon by bringing on you. But that's a different conversation for a different time. Congratulations. Thank you so much for all that you do. Thank you so much. I know you've won like 26 championships in your career. You're probably impressed that I even knew that. But the point is that what you've done is that you've given your knowledge and passed it on to people that would not have had the whereabouts to do what they're doing right now because of what you've done. That's, to me, your biggest success, and that's why you're here, and that's why you're in our Hall of Fame. And thank you so much. Thank you for all that you do for this great sport. And I look forward to seeing you soon. And I can't wait to see what the future is for Saturday's show and talk about it in about 60 seconds.
Sounds good, Tom. Thanks, man. Yes to James. We'll get on that show. And yes to you anytime you want to talk about me and my career. But tonight, I definitely appreciate the induction. And let's rock and roll talking with these other guys. And the this show we're going to have at IMF, because it's going to be a banger. We got some really good guests on here tonight. I'm
looking forward to it. I'm pumped. I'm always pumped up with the IMF. So, ladies and gentlemen, that was our newest member of the Sportswire Radio Hall of Fame, second member of our 8th class. He is the owner of Levi McDaniel Fight Promotions. You can check out all their great links. They're on YouTube, Twitch. They're on the websites. They've got blog spots. Check them all out. Support Levi McDaniel. He's also the general manager of the IMF,